Kandy Cares presents Abandoned Pregnant, the podcast show with Kandy Delore. Hey ladies, how are you all doing? I hope everyone's okay. So let me tell you about today's interview and my special guest. I was on social media over the weekend when I came across a post by a lady who had been blogging her journey throughout her pregnancy. Now, in one of her posts that caught my attention, she mentioned how looking for accommodation as a single pregnant woman can suck, but she also said that she was staying positive. So reading this, I naturally felt compelled to reach out. After connecting with Kristina, she kindly agreed to be my special guest on today's show and to share her story with my listeners. Hi, Kristina.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
Thank you so much for joining me on the Abandoned Pregnant podcast today.
It's my pleasure.
So, Kristina, tell us about your journey from the beginning of your pregnancy and what happened with your baby's father.
When I met him in February, he told me he had children, young children, but he was single, and I just really fell in love. One thing led to another, and I found out I was pregnant. He was already planning to go to Portugal for a few months to be with his children, which I knew about, and at the beginning of the relationship I had no issue with because I didn't plan to be pregnant.
Yeah.
But when I found out I was pregnant, considering how I saw him being with his kids and stuff, I thought that, okay, it's fine, you know, we'll figure it out. But over the next few months it became clear he will not take any responsibility, apart from he acknowledged that he's the father and he was happy about it.
Okay.
But he's provided no support, whether emotional, practical, financial.
That's terrible.
He came for one visit in June, which was for the first scan. And he's been in touch on the phone, but apart from that, that's been it. So it was kind of from the beginning, I became quickly aware that I'll be on my own in this. And I just started to do everything I could to make sure that I can manage it on my own.
Yes. So, I mean, what about any of his family members? Are they going to be involved, or do they know about your pregnancy?
They do now, because while we were still together, I met his sister.
Okay.
She lives in Britain, in another city, but she lives in Britain.
Okay.
And we really get on, so we connected. And I told her I was pregnant, and we have chats and stuff, and she's now told his mother as well, so his mother know.
Okay.
He didn't tell his mother.
Cowards.
Yeah. Well, I didn't even tell his partner, because that's another thing that I found out later, that he's still with the mother of his children.
Yeah,
and lives with her.
So she doesn't know about your pregnancy?
She doesn't know about me.
Oh, okay, she doesn't know anything.
No.
So she's just with a complete liar.
Yeah, I feel really sorry for her.
Yes, yes.
But yeah, he's just completely shirked all responsibility.
So he's had...
His sister and his mum want to be involved, and
that's good.
Now I have a connection to them. Irrespective of his wishes, my child will have contact with his family. Most of them live in Portugal. Some of them live in Cabo Verde, where he's from.
Okay, well, that's good that he's got family members who do want to be involved in your baby's life. So he's made no effort, he hasn't reached out to see how you are, how the pregnancy is going. He's just completely shut himself off. No,
so he does. Actually, I just got off the phone with him. I had to cut him off because I want to speak to you.
Oh.
So he is on the phone.
Okay.
But that's about it. You know, he might ask how I am, how the baby is, but you know, that doesn't do me any good.
No, of course, because you've obviously found out that he's not the man you thought he was, and he's still with the mother of his children.
Yeah, I mean, even if he split up from her and came back here, I wouldn't want to be with him.
No, of course. Your trust
all I
for him is gone.
Is it actually takes responsibility for the child and starts supporting the child.
Yes.
Which he is not doing at the moment. I should have taken more responsibility myself, perhaps not have a child with someone I don't know. So it's not just on him. But, you know, it's what it is, and I just have to do the best of it and be the best mother I can be. I cannot influence his behavior. I cannot make him to love me or love our child. I cannot make him to support us. That's, you know, that's his life, his decisions, and all I can do is
no, of course,
what's best for me and my baby, and I'm doing exactly that.
No, exactly, you are. And I was just about to say that one of the things you have done is taken responsibility for your own actions, and
Absolutely.
you know, I applaud you for that. But you know, it doesn't help that you were lied to as well. You know, so it's not your fault. You're not to blame.
I don't think blame comes into this. I don't find blaming anyone helpful in any way. It doesn't resolve things. It just creates feelings within you that are unpleasant and unhelpful and drain your energy. And my energy is going to my baby. I'm not wasting it on him.
No, that
for sure.
you know, you sound so positive. What are some of the things that you do to help you stay feeling like this?
I think one of those things is that I do acknowledge and feel through those feelings that are not so positive. So I do get angry and I do get upset and I do feel sorry for myself. It's just not constant. There are moments that come up, you know, like occasionally I'll be crying through the night, or at least, you know, for half an hour or whatever. Cry myself to sleep. It happens, but I know that's okay. You know, it's just an emotion. It's a feeling. It has a reason because, you know, I have every right to feel upset about what's going on.
You do.
So I just allow myself to feel it, and when I do, then the feeling passes and the resolution comes in, and it's like, actually, you know, it's gonna be okay. I'm gonna make this, and I don't need him. There's plenty of single moms out there.
That's
amazing moms. I have a lot of support from my friends.
That's
people
brilliant.
like yourself, you know, like whether it's emotional support, financial support, or practical support when people help me with stuff, give me stuff. All that, I have an amazing community around me.
Oh, that is perfect. You mentioned your friends and your community, and you know that is brilliant that you have such great support around you. What about family?
So my family is abroad because I come from Czech Republic, and I'm the only one from my family here.
Okay. See, now that must be hard not having your family around you during a time like this, but it's definitely an amazing thing that you have such great friends and such a supportive community around you.
Absolutely. I mean, I've never been very close to my family, so I can't say I particularly miss them because we've never been close enough to create that feeling of missing them. I've always been taking care of myself without them.
I understand.
I love them very much and they love me, but it's different kind of relationships. My family they are my friends. They are the people who are around me, who spend their time with me, listening to my moaning and to my angry rants, and people who support me in all those ways. They're here.
So let's talk about your blog, because I've been watching your videos and your posts, and I've also been reading some of the comments. There's a lot of women who can relate to you. I noticed yesterday that you were posting about pelvic pain, and you had quite a few comments about that and support from that too. So what made you decide to post about your experience, and were you scared of what people would think about your situation at first?
I wasn't scared. Because I've already been quite public through my work, so I've already I have a separate account that's about my therapy.
Okay.
And so I've been already sharing and posting quite personal stuff. I've written a book that's about me and my personal feelings.
Brilliant.
So thanks to therapy, I have done away with shame. So I can proudly say I'm completely shameless.
Yes.
And I feel that we need to speak out about how we feel, what we're going through, because that's the best way to help others
get
through their journeys. Because in my most difficult times, a few years ago, it was the feeling of isolation, of feeling that I cannot tell other people what I'm going through, or feeling like no one else is going through what I'm going through, or that they wouldn't understand.
Of course.
And it's only when I opened up and started to talk to people, I realized actually I'm definitely not on my own.
It's true. And when you open up, you also encourage others to open up as well. And I think it's definitely a great thing that more women speak out and reunite and, you know, identify and relate to each other's feelings. And there's definitely a lot that can be learned from women who are going through situations like this. And there's definitely a lot of support out there that people are unaware of as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, we definitely need to shine a light on that.
And I think with with being single mom, there's definitely a bit of a stigma around that.
Yes.
You know, nowadays it's definitely much better than it used to be. But I know that lots of women still feel they're going to be judged, or perhaps they are actually judged.
I agree.
By other people, and it's almost, there's kind of a lot of pressure on them, on, how did you end up in this situation kind of thing. It doesn't feel nice to be looked at in that way, and to be judged, and to feel like being less than because you don't have a full family for your child. It's not my choice that my child's not going to have a father in his life, not every day. However, I'd rather if the father's not there than if he's a bad father. And the way he's been acting, it doesn't show me that he's a man that I'd like my child to grow up copying. I don't want my son to behave to women the way,
Yes, he's not a positive role model at all.
Absolutely.
How do you feel towards him? Do you have any anger or resentment?
It's complicated, I think. I love him because I think once you love someone, you cannot stop that.
Yes.
But
at least you're honest about it.
I don't trust him, and I don't respect him. I have no desire to have him in my life. I will not stop him from being in my son's life, but I don't want him in my life.
I understand that.
And the anger's getting better. Like, occasionally it comes up. I mean, it came in stages, I suppose, or less. Because I had some hope, I suppose, till literally your phone call, because that's where my last hope was crushed, when he told me, because he was supposed to come in November for few appointments and photo shoot and stuff, and he just told me he's not coming.
Okay.
So for me, that is like, okay, that's the end between us. There's no more hope. There's like completely shut off, and therefore I don't need to be angry anymore, because anger is kind of, that's an emotion that helps you to push on and do things, to change things, but there's nothing to change anymore. There's not, anger is no longer helpful.
I understand that.
So I'm done. Yeah, so now it's just gonna be, I'll stay polite, I'll keep him informed, but I'm lost all interest in make it work in any other way. And it's his own choice, if that's what he wants, that's what he's got. I was, I think, hoping that we would have at least a little bit closer relationship, like friends.
Yes, I understand.
We can still spend nice time together as a family when he does come and visit. That we'll have like family pictures and stuff. I can't see that happening now. It's literally gonna be, you come, you can spend some time with your child, you can see him, you will get informed about what is happening in his life, but that's about it.
Don't worry, you'll still have lovely mother and son pictures with your baby boy. You will. So you've mentioned that you've written a book, Kristina. What's your book about?
It's called Pieces, and it's 52 short stories about being human, and it's basically about me, but it's not a biography. So you can read each chapter as a standalone chapter, and they're like views or windows into my experiences and my mind, but more from kind of the emotional perspective.
Yes.
So, for example, the first few chapters are about how I've experienced depression and grief and pain. Then there is kind of more uplifting, positive sides to getting kind of out of all of that, and how it feels to be alive. And there's also some kind of musings, I suppose, on life and my arrival at self-love. So there are different chapters of kind of how I experience those shifts as I started to accept and love myself more. And then some chapters on relationships as well. Again, kind of different point of views, metaphors. I do use lots of metaphors as well. They're all quite short, easily digestible. It's 52, as there are 52 weeks in a year, so you can just read one per week. And for me, it's a book that was very cathartic for me, because it helped me on my recovery from depression. And so far, what people's responses are is it really helps them to feel they're not alone. Like the stuff that they're going through, other people are going through, and they appreciate the realness and rawness of the book, because I don't mince my words and I really say how I feel it. And, it's quite vulnerable. Some people call it brave. But as I've mentioned earlier, I'm no longer experience the feeling of shame. So I was like, well, let's put it out there. And hopefully it'll help someone. And it certainly helped me writing it. So
I can understand that. So where is your book available? Tell my listeners where they can grab themselves a copy of your book, Pieces.
On Amazon, and it's available in both digital or paperback form. And it's under the name Kristina and Maciej. So it should be quite easily found, hopefully. It's a purple book with there are like pictures, pieces of me on a cover.
And you must be very proud of it.
I am, especially when the paperback came through and I realized how big it actually is. I was feeling in my hands. It's like, this is probably about the way my baby's gonna be.
So finishing off, what's your message to pregnant women who are in similar sorts of situations that you're going through right now?
Don't isolate yourself. Reach out to people, whether it's your friends or family, or whether you feel you don't have that support around you. There are lots of charities, organizations that offer support that's practical, it's emotional, even financial. Like, there is help out there. Nowadays with internet, it's pretty easy to find. So, don't think you have to be alone in this. And even just reaching out on social media, like, you had done to me, just connecting with other people who have an understanding of your situation and who can maybe offer some helpful tips or advice, support you. But yeah, just don't do this alone, because you don't have to. And, it's pretty hard, even with the support. And just, or even when you're in a relationship and you have that quotes idyllic, family, it's still tough to be a parent, still tough to be a mom. So when you do it on your own, especially if you're very abandoned by your partner, it's important to have that community around you to support you through what you're going through, which is the natural way for things to be. That's how we evolved to be, to bring our children up in community.
I definitely agree with you. Well, Kristina, you have been lovely to speak to.
Thank you.
And
it's lovely to speak with you.
No, thank you so much for being on the show. I really wish you all the best of luck in finding your accommodation, and the best of luck in beginning a new journey as a mother with your new baby.
Thank you.
And I thank you so much for being a guest on the show.
It's been a real pleasure. And I'll wish you all the best with what you're doing as well, because it's really important. And I'm pleased to have found you.
Oh no, thank you. I'm pleased to have found you. All right, ladies, so that was Kristina's story. I personally found it very inspiring, as it seems Kristina is at peace and she's accepted her situation for what it is. She's also being true to her feelings, has a strong support system around her, luckily, and she's able to express herself through speaking to others, writing, and more. Now, all these things are definitely stages throughout healing, and I wish Kristina the best of luck in continuing to move forwards. Well, that's it from the Abandoned Pregnant podcast today. I hope you all heard something that helps you in Kristina's story. Thanks for listening and take care.